All right, good evening, everybody. All right, so, yep, I'm guessing either I lost a subscriber or YouTube's algorithms are being funky. Like I said before, I'm not trying to become a big time YouTuber or anything, but I always do appreciate subscriptions, liking, watching the videos. I hope that whoever watches them actually enjoys it. My channel is all over the place. I've been all over the place, and my topic of choice today, had 3 fucking interviews canceled on me 15 minutes before the interview was supposed to start. Make that shit make sense. I don't know what the fucking, you know, something happened. I really don't know. Like, why even bother scheduling the interview if you're just gonna fucking cancel? I mean, that's fucking lame. Without even giving any notification. But, oh, wait, people like to fucking ghost nowadays. I've covered that in plenty of other videos. Instead of just being fucking transparent, the one I did apply with Sodexo, I did get the automated message saying that they were canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. I don't know what the fuck that means. And they're unable to pursue my recruitment at the time. Now, in all seriousness, that specific location was on a military installation. And you all know that military installations are crazily strict on who they let on. And, somebody would actually have to, sponsor it. And of course, they have to, justify, getting me more than, a day pass. Now, the way, the website says that, they can sponsor somebody for up to a year. But obviously, they have to justify the reason for doing that. And obviously, I know a handful of people who either are military, retired military, civil, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, dependent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In theory, my nephew or my nieces could have sponsored me, but they would have looked at them like they had fucking 6 heads. You know what I mean? So, not trying to be weird or anything, but again, they'd be very hesitant to give me more than a day pass. Because again, whoever sponsored me is they're responsible for me. And that's just the way it works. I know last time I had to get one, it was because I was working a government contract position in my brother's office. Um, so obviously it was like, okay, yeah, I think it was like either 30 or 90, whatever it was. It was longer than a day, so, but they ended up giving me a badge to buzz in for the time being before I got my, my contractor card, that I could use to do my work. Anyhow, obviously, the shit going on in the White House basically made it so that I'm in between jobs, trying to do side hustles, trying to figure out whether I'm going to be able to keep both my vehicles or hell, fucking let them take my fucking daily and I'll just keep the fucking tracker, so that, that's a real decision a lot of people, are facing right now, unrelated uh, to this topic. But this topic is interviews. They set up the interview, either by phone or by video or Zoom chat or through ZipRecruiter. This last one was actually supposed to be through ZipRecruiter. And sure enough, I'm like right there getting ready to fucking connect, and then boom, interview canceled. Like, what the fuck? So it's like I dropped what I was doing just so I could be here for that. And then they go and fucking cancel. You know, and this is why fucking, you know, people find it hard to find jobs nowadays. You know, on top of the 50 something fucking job search engines that are floating around out there, and most of them are posting fucking non-existent jobs. You know, so you know, and again, you know, I just have to fucking keep submitting my resume, you know, and going to career services center, seeing you know what they have. You know, I mean, I would have done that today, but you know, I had to deal with the fiasco with my car. You know, the shop was like going, "Oh, this whole thing needs a restoration." Da da da. I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" It's like really all I just wanted was a couple things done. You know, I don't care about anything else. But you know how you know nobody wants to fix things anymore. You know, which is a whole other topic in of itself. You know, which is unfortunately why I had to get a new vehicle. I would have been happy keeping my old truck and probably would have just picked, you know, probably would have picked up the tractor on the side anyways. But anyhow, you know, that's that. You know, let me know if you had like experiences with being scheduled for interviews and then they fucking cancel on you and don't give any explanation. You know, let me know in the comments. You know, what has your interview experience been like? You know, if you're in between jobs, and you know, side note, whoever's fucking like a small time channel like me, you know, let's just all subscribe to each other and just see what happens. Now I know we probably will never be like the big time YouTubers or whatever, but you know, and that's fine. But you know, my take is I've always been old school when it comes to job searches. You know, you pick, you know, you walk in, you fill the application, go straight to the manager, and you know, but now it's like automated shit, you know, and half the time the store manager doesn't even fucking see it. And you know, they used to say, you know, in the old days, you know, put down available anytime. You know, now you fucking do that. Like if I were to fucking put down like anytime, they a lot of companies would fucking do that and almost have you work fucking swing shifts, you know. And to me, that's just, you know, I couldn't handle that. I know I couldn't. You know, in fact, making people work like swing shifts and rotating shifts, that's very, very likely to cause more accidents because people are tired, they're not used to a good sleep schedule. And that's the world that we live in. And, you know, it takes a certain set of genetics to be able to handle that. So, you know, again, you know, I'm just taking everything a day at a time. You know, let me know how many times you've had an interviewer cancel on you in the comments. I'll talk to you.